Hey, everybody, and welcome to an episode of Dog Talk. Today is December 29th of 2020. It is our 22nd consecutive live episode here for Dog Talk. And I know everybody is probably worn out, busy, just stressed out after the holidays are now coming to an end. And literally less than 72 hours, we're going to ring in 2021. So, I'm going to tell you, to be honest, we had so many things that happened in 2020, and I'm sure that anywhere you turn, there's probably something that reminds you of everything we've been through, from just being in complete and utter lockdown to different restrictions that we've come across, and even learning so much about each other in different ways. In particular, this episode is really dedicated more to the pets and the animals, as well as the relationships that we form, but we're always here to help everybody moving forward. So tonight's episode, I really want to offer it out there to everybody as more of a chit-chat conversation. I like to call it a year-end review. So every time the years are coming to an end, from December 23rd till January 7th, I always find myself reviewing the end of the year. And I talk about all the do's, the don'ts, the pluses, the minuses, everything that I'm looking forward to going into the next year with, if that makes sense. It's one of those things where you almost wonder, like, how does this affect us moving forward into our dog training and things like that? And I guess in tonight's episode, I really want to let everybody know that at any point in time, if you have any questions, thoughts, concerns, you can always feel free to throw a comment in there, and I could definitely get it to you. If you're watching on the podcast version, obviously I can't see your comments, so what'll happen is if we do see any comments that pop up, I'll read them to you to let you know what's going on. So as we continue in this episode, I'd like to just point out where 2021 is coming from and going to, if that makes sense. So it's going to be just one of those fun, unique years for us. Oh, I got a weird. Hold on one sec. I guess the big thing is looking at, 2021 and wondering where we're going and what we're doing, right? So how many people are excited over 2021? How many people are curious about what's going to happen this year? And for me, it's definitely one of those things where 2021 is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Blue Line Canine took 2020 and it really reached out and really started helping other people build the relationships with their dogs like never before with our new programs. And now we're going to be launching into our own pet resorts, which is going to be fantastic, with Raleigh opening up their location, us here at the Bow, and now moved into the Bowag Pet Resort. We're going to be offering so many different programs, one of which is our Canine Country Club, which I'm just literally pumped up about. I really can't explain to you how exciting it is because of the fact that doggy daycare has been around for a long time. And it's one of those things where I wasn't always a complete fan of doggy daycare because of the fact that I always felt that the dogs lacked one major entity, which was the mental stimulation. They were able to run around. They were able to get socialized with other dogs. They were able to play and get really physically tired. But a lot of businesses didn't really take the time to do that. And I'm saying not all of them, but a lot of them. So where we turned around this year, and with the staff here at Blue Line Canine, we were able to develop the Canine Country Club, which I'm really pumped up and excited about, because with the Canine Country Club, it's about mental and physical stimulation. It's to create balance. And when we think about that, we normally think like, oh, if you're tired, you're tired. But we never really pay attention to the fact that if you, for example, work behind a computer all day and you become mentally exhausted, you find yourself, gaining weight, even being stressed out because of the fact that you're not physically exhausted. So what happens is, because you're not burning the energy physically, you start eating bad foods, you start gaining calories, and you don't even realize it. You're becoming actually more and more stressed out, causing negative impacts on your body. If you're a type of person that's always doing physical labor and not as much mental stimulation because you've learned to do your career path or your skill set so good, what happens is you become the opposite way, where your body is physically stimulated, but you get stressed out and overworked, and your brain becomes once again aggressive, and you start to see these negative turmoils. And that's why you see a lot of times that everybody, you have to have a nice balance in your life. You have to create that nice balance point. So when we think of our animals, we tend to forget that they need that as well. Taking your dog for the same walk over and over and over again, it really does limit your dog mentally, because once they know the walk, they know the scents, they know the odors, they know what's going on, there's nothing more for them to really understand. So they just get physically tired, but they're not mentally worn out. Hence why when you get home, your dog is still full of energy, or they're pumped up, or they're really excited. They don't really come home like they used to come home, extremely tired or just worn out and ready to go to sleep. So because of that, you have to think about where we come from with this. And this is what's been fantastic about Blue Line Canine's Country Club, is because when we started figuring out what the Canine Country Club was going to be, and how we're going to introduce small groups and obstacle courses and scent work and so many different little things, we had to figure out how to break down the mental, physical stimulant, so that way each dog goes home tired. And that's where we bought our bus so we can do field trips to change the environment. We use different dogs of different shapes, sizes, coloring, to make sure they're always worked at different points. We move them around the different areas of the county. We have obstacle courses. We have scent walls. We have multiple locations. So the dogs are in a constant go. They're never just, in a group that just run around in circles. They're in a constant point. And what's really neat is with the team that we have here, we've been able to get new obstacles essentially almost once every 30 days. We're able to either build or get something delivered to us that allows us to the next step. So it's really, really exciting to think about, where we're going. Now, a few things that I have to say that I'm really, so now that you have the Canine Country Club, the next big thing is I had a meeting yesterday. I think it was yesterday. I'm sorry, guys. This has been a little bit of a crazy time for me. So I think it was yesterday. I was able to meet with Savannah and establish and outline a new program that Blue Line Canine is going to offer here in the Joppa location, which will be a service dog program. This is a first time that we're doing this. I'm really excited about it because it's going to give me the opportunity to actually go back in time and become the student. So I'm really excited to reverse the role of myself and become the newbie, the new student in this avenue. So Savannah comes in with a lot of knowledge, a lot of information that I'm really excited to have as a part of the team here, because we're going to be able to get into a really long program that's going to be able to help the dogs as well as people into getting that service dog training, certifications, and so much more. And how the program is going to be work, it's going to be essentially a year-long program to start. And we have to evaluate there. The dogs need, as we know, to do a service dog, the dogs need intense training. But it'll be 1 day a week to get started. So if you guys are looking for service dogs, if you have questions about service dog training, this is a great time to reach out to Blue Line Canine. You can give us a call at 1-800-266-2365 or check us out on our website at bluelinek-9.com. Send us a quick, send us your information. We can reach out to you. We can set you up with an evaluation if you have a dog that you're thinking about putting into our service dog program. If you're looking for a service dog or you have questions about it, this is a great opportunity. We'll be doing these evaluations and the program 1 day a week starting out in the new year. So it's going to be really cool. So the couple of new programs that we're launching is the Canine Country Club, which we launched at all locations, the service dog training, which is going to be launched here at the Boag Pet Resort in Joppa, Maryland. So that's going to be really exciting. And this is like I said, this is just the start. This is just the beginning of 2021. I'm not even through my year-end review and replan of 2021. So imagine we already have 2 programs that are being launched right now to rock and roll for you guys. And we haven't even fully gotten through my entire little time period that I do. Now, if you guys are out there and you're wondering, what can I do with my dog? I don't really feel comfortable dropping them off every day. I just got a puppy for Christmas. What are some of the things? Well, that's a weird coincidence. We have you covered there as well. That's where Dog Owner University comes in. Now, Dog Owner University is our online program that gives you literally not just the how to train your dog, but the why you're using the methods that you're using. So there's so much YouTube information out there, Facebook and social media platforms that, I mean, heck, you can probably just go on TikTok right now and learn how to get a dog to do something. The downfall to doing different hows is that if you don't know the why, the how is sort of left to the side. It doesn't really get you the result that you're looking for. Matter of fact, when we're working on heels today, A lot of people are so focused on getting the dog in a certain position that they don't even realize that their mannerisms, their body postures, and the way they're walking and talking are creating one of the bigger problems, right? So with Dog Owner University, if you're at the comfort of your home or you have a new puppy, you can go into our online programs. And this is where it's really nice, is because of the fact that, one, you can follow along at home. You get the why information, and the why information is going to understand why you're making your changes. So, for example, I was working with one of the trainers today about her heel and working in getting that perfect championship competition style heel. And I was explaining to her that if her elbow is flared out with a reward and her hand is in, yeah, she's bringing the nose in, but essentially the dog's butt would crab out. So we would call it a crab, where the dog would essentially start to walk sideways to follow her. When I explained to her that essentially, if you think of your arm as the dog, right? So your hand is the muzzle of the dog, and you create the muzzle of your dog holding the treat. And then your elbow is essentially the butt of the dog. If your elbow is into your side and your hand is cupped in, your hand and arm are going to be the exact replica of the dog. So I had her, and then when she went home, she practiced and practiced and practiced using the mirror to catch herself and doing these things, which is really awesome to hear and see that she's doing this, because those behaviors create the muscle memory, right? So it takes 30 days to create a habit, 60 days to enforce it, 90 days to embed it. The most important thing to remember is that we think about psychology in training our animals, but we never remember the fact that we have to use the same psychology to train us. So as I just said, it takes 30 days to create, 60 days to enforce, 90 days to embed. But most people tend to forget that you have to understand what you're doing psychologically. You have classical conditioning, operant conditioning, and then you have the clever Hans effect. So in this case, we're going to be talking more about the classical, which is the repeating of the behavior to create your consistency, right? So you want to repeat, 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 repeat. So with this trainer in this scenario, she went home, she practiced. And then when she brought her dog out, the dog automatically did what she needed it to do. She didn't actually have to worry about the dog. The dog will do the behaviors that you're looking for. Now, at first, when you're explaining a lot of things and you're just showing somebody the technique, a lot of times what happens is that when the handler or the owner of the animal doesn't understand why the elbow needs to be in, and just like I just explained, it was a long-winded answer there. But when you don't get that elbow in, they don't see the why. You don't see the effect that it has. But when you explain to them that it's an exact replica, it's a mirror image, the dog will follow it. Then once they click in it and they can see it, it all makes sense, and the hard work is justified, which allows them to be willing to deal with the hard work. So in my young years of life, I've been doing so much in my day. And one of the things that I realized is that when you explain to people why they have to work hard to get the answer they're looking for, it comes into it, right? So I've worked with so many different people with their dogs, and a lot of times they don't realize why you want to repeat in threes, why you want to repeat so many times. How many times do I need to repeat sit? If I train my dog to sit in the living room, how come he doesn't sit in the dining room? Well, it's simple. Dogs learn in still imagery. If you don't work in all the different rooms, the dogs aren't really learning it in all the different environments. And those environments change, and they change so many different things. How many times a day do you think you walk around the house saying certain commands to your dog without even realizing that you're not saying it and enforcing it? For example, if I say to my dog, sit, 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 that's 5 sits. Then he finally puts the tuckus on the ruckus, right? He finally puts his butt on the ground. That means the command of sit is sit, 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 sit. That means I have to say it 5 times in order to get the dog to do the behavior I'm looking for. When the best thing I'm going to tell you, this is the trick of the year here. Stop talking. Start luring. Get your dog in the behavior you're looking for, and when you got it, name it. That's when you do it. If your dog is in a sit position, you can say it 1,000,000 times. But if they're not in a sit position, don't say it. You're going to keep repeating it. The other thing to be mindful of is that when you're in general conversation, try to be careful with your commands. One of my favorite things that I think we talk about a lot, I think it came up at least 17 times before 10 o'clock this morning, is the correction marker. The no, cut it out, don't do that, stop barking, don't do this, don't do that. I'm going to ask everybody who's watching right now or listening, just in general, do you really think your dog knows what you're talking about when you say those things? Or do you think they find it to be very entertaining that you say no, something like that. Because I mean, me personally, every time I hear somebody do it, I always have a flashback to my childhood to Flipper. I'm always like, "Hey, Flipper," because and I'm like, "Oh, there they go." Well, here's the thing: your dog is a creature of attention and affection, which means any attention, any affection will get the repeated action. So, big thing to look at the year end here is to stop wasting your breath with correction markers. And the second thing I'm going to say to you is stop wasting your breath with repeated commands. Get the dog in the behavior that you're looking for, name it, and highly reward them. When your dog knows what they're looking for because you're focused more on what you want instead of what you don't want, you're going to get more repeated behaviors of what you want and not what you don't want. You know, as a kid, my parents never told me not to rob a bank, but they did teach me how to go get a job. They told me how to work hard. They taught me how to bust my butt. They taught me all these different things, but they never once corrected me. They never brought me to the bank and smacked me. They never threatened me with any law enforcement. They didn't correct the behaviors. They focused more on teaching me what they wanted me to be as a man instead of worrying about the things that I can do wrong. And because of that kind of stuff, I look back and seeing this and remembering how much my parents focused on that. And I implemented that same strategy with my dogs. So when you think about your dog training, you have to know what you want in the long term of your dog to set the program up correctly. At the end of the year right now, Christmas was here, COVID was here. There's a lot of new puppies, a lot of adoptions that are going on. And the key thing is that we want to know not only why you adopted or why you purchased your dog, but you want to set up what you're doing over the next 5 years. Do you like hiking? Do you like sledding? Do you like car drives? Do you plan on flying your plane, taking your dog with you on a plane? Do you plan on taking your dog on a boat? Do you need a life jacket? When you have young puppies or you get new dogs into your home, the things that you want to do is take that end goal of what you're looking for, and you want to break it down in baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. And I repeat that so many times because you got to bring it down to this finest little cue. Let your dog walk around with the leash around their neck. That way they learn how to follow it and they get used to the weight. Instead of learning how to pull it because you've never put them on a leash because they were puppies, they didn't run away. You know, they're puppies. They need to be desensitized to the weight of the leash. That's just something that we have to take into consideration when you're doing this kind of stuff. You always want to reward the behavior you're looking for. Work the name drill, right? So the name drill is showing them, telling them their name and rewarding them the immediate, when they look back at you, come to you, loosen your leash or stop behaviors that you're not looking for. This gives you all of that. Now, I know I'm talking really super fast and we're giving tons of information tonight, but this is what's great about 2020. It allowed us to get the information out to you in so many different lights. You know, a lot of people right now, I think, are looking at 2020 as such a horrible time, a horrible place, and a horrible thing. And for me, I have to look back at 2020, just like I do every other year, and pull out all the positives. Because of 2020, we were able to get a ton of knowledge onto Dog Owner University to get you this stuff so you can learn at your pace. That way you're not feeling pressured. You're not feeling anything. We were able to put all the equipment necessary together for you. So if you have that new puppy, you might want to check out our Dog Owner University. Again, you can reach out to us through Facebook Messenger or anything like that. You can hit us up in any which way to reach out and ask any questions you have. But if you have that new dog that's highly you're looking for those training, you want to learn the how and the why, check us out. We have a great program on there. It really breaks it down to the finest tooth and explaining the how and the why you're going to be doing what you're doing to get the long-term results. And again, we have so many new programs moving forward into these things. So another couple of things that I'd like to talk about in the end of the review here with Blue Line Canine and Dog Talk is we were able to sponsor a race team, and I'm able to get my son on it this year, which is really, really cool because the race team is going to be, we're going to hopefully build into that race team as a nonprofit organization to try to help and battle childhood cancer. So it's going to be really exciting for me. It's going to be the Blue Line Canine race team, and we're going to get it out there, and we're going to help utilize the kids to help raise money to give to the ones in need, you know, the ones that are really struggling and they need the help and the research to get to the most point. So that's something really exciting that, again, we were able to get done in 2020 and move into 2021 into a whole new boat. But I got to tell you guys, I mean, I'm a little tired today, but I am pumped, and I mean pumped for 2021. Tomorrow morning, I have another episode of Stuck in the Truck going to be on the official MJ Solar Facebook page live. And we have a gentleman that's going to be interviewed on there. And that's a great thing. We're going to be taking on 5 apprentices this year. So we have 5 opportunities for people that are looking to grow their business, build their business, or just learn about business in general. I'm willing to take on 5 new apprentices this year. So if you're interested in that, please, you can shoot a message over to me, or you can shoot me a message on my email at michaeljsolar@gmail.com if you are interested in growing your company, or just figuring out ways to have a better income or better understanding of it. That's what we do. We help you grow into these different lights. So this is, like I said, there's so many positives that are coming out of the 2020 going into 2021 that, as beat up, as tired as we are of 2020, we have to look at all these things that are happening in the new year. And this is what's so pumping me up and excited. I mean, I'm giving it's 7:00 at night. It's 7:20 at night. And I've been working all morning. I've been working all day. We've been training dogs. It's cold. It's hot. It's this, it's that. But I got to tell you, what I've got planned for you guys, you are going to be super excited to be a part. Blue Line Canine here at Bowweg Pet Resort, we have pumped up. We are getting new kennels put in. They're going to be awesome suites. We have training center being built in. We're going to have a swimming area for the dogs. We have so much coming in this new year. The Canine Country Club, our stay and train programs, our platinum programs, our dog owner university. And we know what my favorite part about it all is? We're even duplicating it in North Carolina. That's right. In a couple of weeks, we're going to be setting up a trip. I'm going to be heading down to North Carolina to hang out with Jeff, give you guys live tours of his building and facility being built up down there. Hopefully, we'll be able to do an entire live episode of Dog Talk down there. But now let me give you a few things that I'm looking forward to with Dog Talk. One of which is we are going to be interviewing and bringing on guests for Dog Talk that are either industry leaders, product manufacturers and experts, pet business owners, and so much more. I'm looking to start touring the United States and or all around and interviewing people in the industry to help you guys know what you're looking for, how to pick the right kennels, how to pick the right pet resort, how to pick the right trainers, how to get the right information, because there's so much bad stuff in this industry. There's so many bad sales pitches that I think 2021 needs to be that educational year to help you guys get what you're really looking for out there. So I'm really, like I said, I have so much out here planned for you guys. I wish you can come and meet me at my office and hang out for a day so I can just dump it all onto you. But since we can't, I'm going to do my best to get through our podcast here live. And again, you guys can follow us on our YouTube channel. Also, any podcast platform you're looking for, please like, subscribe, and tell us what you like about the show. Tell us what you would like to see us do. Shoot me some questions what you want us to highlight. 2021 is all about you guys. So it's about the information to you, what you want to know, what you want to seek, what kind of information you want. We're willing to do the gathering for you. I'm willing to do the research for you, and I'm going to put it together for you. So all I want to say is thank you all for joining us through 2020 and so many years prior. I am excited about 2021. I hope you are too, as we get ready to celebrate the Blue Line Canine's 15-year anniversary. That's right. 2021 is 15 years Blue Line Canine in business. We are expanded into a pet resort, not only here in Maryland, but also in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have so many new programs for you guys and so much more stuff for your dogs to love and enjoy. Well, I'm going to sign off now. You guys have a great and wonderful night. Hopefully you all get to join me tomorrow on the official MJ Solar page. I'm going to throw that on the screen in case you guys are looking on our live Facebook stream right now. You can check it out at the facebook.com/official MJ Soler. It's SOLER, just so you know. Check it out. It's going to be at 8:30, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we will go ahead and talk to you guys later.